Hello everyone, and welcome to this short tutorial on setting your Java path so that you can compile and run programs on the command line. There are a couple of things to note before we start. First, this tutorial is for Windows 10 users only. Mac users have a more automated install for command line Java and can skip this video. If you're using a different version of Windows, you'll have to look for a different tutorial. Second, you should have the Java Software Development Kit or SDK already installed before following the steps I'm going to show you here. If you don't have it installed, pause this video, search for Java SDK, find the appropriate version in the download list, and once it's downloaded, install it by clicking Next a whole bunch of times, the way you would for most software applications. Go ahead and pause. I'll wait. Okay, so if you've made it this far, you're using Windows 10, you have installed Java, and you're ready to go. The reason this tutorial is necessary is that the Java SDK for Windows does not set the path as part of its automated installation procedures, so we have to do it manually. You can tell that things are not working properly by opening a command prompt and trying to run the Java compiler. You can do this by typing CMD in the search bar and running the command prompt. Once this window is open, if you type javac, that's the command for the Java compiler, we get an error that this particular command is not recognized. This is what we need to fix. To fix this, we have to find where Java is installed. I'm going to start by right-clicking on the Start or Windows button at the bottom left corner of my screen and selecting File Explorer. Your File Explorer may look a bit different depending on your setup, but it should be similar. The thing we're most interested in is our C drive. The first step to finding our Java install is to open our C drive folder. From here we have two options, Program Files and Program Files x86. For most users, Java is going to be under Program Files. This is where the 64-bit version of Java goes by default. If you install the 32-bit version, which isn't a problem, you'll have to find it under Program Files x86. So you may have to pause and check both locations. I know mine is in Program Files, so I'm going to go into that folder. The next folder we need to open should be Java. If you have a lot of programs installed, you may have to scroll a bit, but if Java is installed properly, it should be there in the list. Open this folder. Now in my case, there are two folders listed. One starts with JDK and the other starts with JRE. It's very important that the next folder you open is the JDK folder. If you don't see the JDK folder, take a step back and check under Program Files x86 or try reinstalling your Java download. Something else to note, the numbers after JDK may be different, but that won't cause us any problems, so go ahead and open the JDK folder. Finally, open the bin folder by double-clicking it. We've now found the location of our Java application files. Clicking on the menu bar at the top of our File Explorer window will collapse the list of folders into what we call a path. After you have the path highlighted, use either Control-C or right-click and copy to grab that information for the next steps. Now that we have the path to our Java installation, we can add it to the path environment variable in Windows. This will allow us to compile and run programs on the command line. In the search bar, type path. One of the options that appears should say Edit the System Environment Variables. Click that option. In the System Properties window, click the button that says Environment Variables. In this window, there are two options. The top list will adjust settings only for the current user. In this case, that user is me. If I make changes there, anyone else that logs into this computer will not have access to Java on the command line. So I'm going to make the changes in the bottom section. If you have many system variables, you may need to scroll, but in my case, you can see the variable path about halfway down. Double-click right on the word path. In this last window we need to worry about for this tutorial, double-click on the first empty line at the bottom of the list. Now you can use Ctrl-V to paste the path that we copied a few steps ago. Click OK to close the window. If you don't see a path variable for some reason, you can click New and create one called path. Add the path that we copied a few steps ago to the value box using Control-V and click OK to close the window. Since I had a path variable already and was able to edit it, I can cancel out of this step. Click OK and close all of the windows we've opened so far. The final step is to check if our changes worked. It's very important to close any open command windows before you try this last step. The command window needs to be reopened for the changes we made to take effect. With no command windows open, type CMD in the search bar again, like we did at the beginning, and open a new command prompt. Type Java C and hit enter. This time, instead of seeing a message saying that Java C is not recognized, we get a long list of options and arguments for the Java C command. This isn't helpful at the moment, but it does show that things are now working properly and we are ready to compile and run our first Java programs on the command line.